All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So, meme coin mania is happening right now in the crypto market with the top meme coin tokens by market capitalization reaching over $53 billion, guys. This is absolutely insane. So, Dogecoin started it all. Then we have Shiba Inu. We got Floki, we got Pepe, Dog with Hat, Bonk, and now Book a Meme over 2,400% in the past week, sitting at a $1.2 billion market cap. So, does that mean you should dive into the meme coin market right now and buy as many meme coins as you can? Well, no, not necessarily, especially if you can't handle volatility. I mean, a lot of these guys are down 45%, 26%, 27%, 34%. So someone asked me the other day, how long do these markets stay volatile for? And the answer is forever. There's never a moment that's not volatile in the crypto space where we don't see these crazy, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, even 90% price swings to the downside, and then to the upside, thousands of percentages. So what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video is some major alpha for what's happening for Bitcoin on the macro market cycle going into the halving, and then some key meme coins that are going to follow after Dogecoin that I think are going to absorb a lot of liquidity this bull run. Now, quick disclaimer, that doesn't mean you should buy any meme coins. In fact, don't sell anything we talk about on our channel. These videos purely for educational purposes, learning purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. You should consult your financial advisor. If they're a millionaire, if they're not a millionaire, fire them. Hire someone who's actually qualified to give you financial advice and has been there, done that. Because when we talk about meme coins in this video, this is absolute degenerateville the further down that we go in the meme coin market. But there's a lot of money to be made as well too. So for those of you guys that are paying attention to the crypto market, I want you to comment which project you're the most bullish on in the description below this video. And if you guys want to see and get early access to the Insider's Guidebook for discovering the next 100x altcoin, you guys can go to bullrunners.com and you'll get alpha early when we make these videos, before we make these videos, and you guys will see what's happening in the markets inside of our Telegram group, a part of our email list. And it is all for educational purposes only. Do your own research. But if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, comment 777. If you're feeling bullish, if you're feeling blessed, let's run it. All right, bull runner. So let's dive right into the Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart, because the meme coin market is going to follow Bitcoin. All altcoins, gaming, artificial intelligence, layer ones, layer twos, DePIN, everything, AI is going to follow Bitcoin. So what Bitcoin does next is really going to determine, when these breakouts happen. And so right now we saw Bitcoin, breach up above, make a new all-time high, and it's currently, sitting at $68,000. And so when we look at Bitcoin in the past, during the last bull run, when Bitcoin breached up to the all-time high, we saw a sell-off down to about $16,000 for Bitcoin, and it traded sideways and struggled to break the all-time high for about 20 days. And on the relative strength index, we saw a head and shoulders pattern take place, where when we rallied up all the way from $10,000 back in October of 2020 to 19, almost $20,000, the RSI breached above 70 right here at about $11,000, nearly $12,000, and it stayed above 70 on the relative strength index in overbought conditions for that period of time until we reached, the all-time high. Then the RSI saw a break below 70. So we see this left shoulder, we see the neckline, we see the head, and then the right shoulder. And once we broke the neckline of 70 on the RSI, we saw Bitcoin range sideways for an extended period of time before the next breakout took place, and it brought Bitcoin all the way upwards of $41,000. So if we don't see Bitcoin implode and drop below like 59K or 51 or 48K and just go absolutely to the downside, like 30 or 40%, we just see Bitcoin hold, $59,000, then I would expect the RSI to come down to about 50 and see something similar take place, because the inflow from the ETFs is way too strong right now. The buying demand is massive. There just had to be a liquidity flush. And so when the markets are overheated like this, and we just see massive green candles being printed on the weekly and on the monthly chart, right now we're on the daily, so there's obviously going to be some more red candles, but on the monthly chart, there's been back to back to back green candles. And so Bitcoin needs to cool off for a little bit. The markets can't stay this overheated for forever. And so just like in the past, we breached above 70 on the RSI when Bitcoin passed, $47,000, and we've been above 70 for an extended period of time. And so with this left shoulder, this head, this right shoulder, now Bitcoin on the RSI is sitting at 61. This dip might not be over yet. So it's not the best time to enter into the markets right now, but at the same time, it's not the worst time, because I'm expecting Bitcoin to make massive moves after the halving, because the halving is coming up next month. And then going into early May is, post halving. So we're going to start to see Bitcoin make the biggest moves in Q3 and Q4 of this year. And so, a pullback is necessary as it wipes leverage off the table. However, people think Bitcoin is done, but Bitcoin's looking like Mike Tyson right now.
Day 3. You still want to with me?
So would you guys mess with Mike Tyson? What do you guys think is going to happen in that fight with Jake Paul? It's not looking too good for Jake, but it's looking very good for Michael Saylor right now. Listen to this.
It's not that hard to see that this is a $25 to $50 trillion a year problem for anybody with assets on Earth. It's very rare that you find a technology that's the solution to every rich person's problem and every poor person's problem simultaneously.
Now, there is a warning that I do have for you guys, though. Even though it solves every rich person and poor person's problem at the same time, when you got guys like this buying up billboards.
What? You're telling me that your boy just bought a billboard on Sunset Boulevard using a little itty bitty amount of his Bitcoin? The haters are gonna love this one. Remember, choose rich.
That's a big sign that a correction is needed to humble some people in the markets. So in one of my previous videos, I talked about the stock to flow model before the halving. We usually rally up and then we see a correction going into the halving. So now that we went from dark blue to purple, breaching up above, $70,000 in the halving coming up April and then May, I'm expecting a correction to take place. Now, how deep will that correction be really depends on how strong the buy side demand is for institutions. But when we look back from 2016's bull run, we saw a correction going into the halving, bringing Bitcoin down to like $527. Then we consolidate and we broke out from there to pass the all-time high. And so it's going to be very, very similar. Now, the correction might not be as deep as the past because there is more demand in the markets. And then you got people waiting on the sidelines like this. This guy's saying he's got $400,000 in USDT in his wallet. He missed Pepe and Bonk. What Solana meme coin should I buy? So in the markets right now, meme coins are hot, guys. And as you can see right here, Solana ecosystem meme coins are where the attention is. But where attention goes, energy flows. And the number one meme coin to watch to see what's going to happen in the meme coin market, just like we watch Bitcoin, is we need to watch Dogecoin first. And so when we look at the charts for Dogecoin and we compare it to Bitcoin on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see a death cross that took place when the 50 moving average crossed below the 200 moving average back in May of 2022. Bitcoin saw a massive sell-off to the downside to form a bottom. Same thing for Dogecoin happened back in April of 2022, right around the same time. The 50 moving average crossed below the 200. Dogecoin was in a downtrend. The bear market, Dogecoin found a bottom of around 4 or 5 cents. Yeah, right around 0.049. And then we started the accumulation phase for Bitcoin, the accumulation phase for Dogecoin, and we saw a golden cross back in July of 2023 for Bitcoin. When the golden cross took place, Bitcoin saw a sell-off until September of 2023 down to 25,000, and then it ripped on out of there while the 50 moving average stayed above the 200 moving average. Just recently, back in January of this year, we saw a golden cross take place for Dogecoin. As you can see on the chart right here, the 50 moving average is just barely above the 200 moving average, whereas for Bitcoin, the 50 moving average is all the way up here at $45,000. The 200 moving average is all the way down here at $29,000. So Dogecoin is actually about to have a massive bull run rally. And when this takes place, it would look something like this. We're going to see some sideways choppy trading action, in my opinion, right? I showed you guys the chart for Injective compared to Render, and now Render is doing exactly as expected based on what happened with Injective for Render's breakout. Now watch Dogecoin. And so we'll timestamp this video and we'll come back to this in the next few weeks. But my expectation for Dogecoin is to do something like this right here, where Bitcoin rallied upwards of $45,000 and traded sideways for an extended period of time until about February of 2024. So we saw the rally up in December. Then we had January and February. So for a couple months, about 68, 70 days, we saw Bitcoin range, anywhere from 10 to 13% to the downside. And then it broke out massively to the upside. So I would expect something similar for Dogecoin and for it to look like this. So Dogecoin to range anywhere from, a month to 3 months post Bitcoin's halving. If Bitcoin sees a further sell off to the downside, then Dogecoin and the rest of the meme coin market would see a further sell off. So don't just ape everything and, mortgage your house and refinance or whatever, and sell your house and start dumping in the meme coin market, because you could get absolutely wrecked if Bitcoin continuously trends to the downside. And so having a good dollar cost averaging strategy for yourself, where you're not just lump sum purchasing, you're every single week spotting the right projects, subscribing to this channel, and deciding to allocate what you can afford to the risk of the markets is a smarter move. But the fact that we just saw a golden cross take place and we're in the disbelief rally right now tells me that we're just getting started and this bull run is not even close to being over yet. So what we would see happen on Bitcoin's price chart is for Bitcoin to chop around for an extended period of time up here at the all-time high, and then for Bitcoin to have the next massive breakout post-halving. And so that would cause Dogecoin, the rest of the meme coin market, to chop around for a period of time, and then Dogecoin to have another massive breakout to the upside. And when Dogecoin rallies, the other large caps, specifically Floki, I believe will rally too. Now, Floki has a $2.1 billion market cap. Dogecoin has a $21 billion market cap. So I'm personally not going to be buying Dogecoin. I'm going to be looking a little bit further down the list and accumulating, some large caps and then some micro cap projects. So for example, when we look at Floki's chart compared to Dogecoin on the left, we're just breaking into the disbelief stage right now for Dogecoin, where we broke the neckline of around 15 cents that it tested back in November of 2022. It struggled to break above it until recently. So if we hold this neckline, this is the disbelief stage right here. And with Floki breaking out with Dogecoin, this is technically the disbelief rally right here for Floki's chart. We don't obviously have that much price history on this chart on TradingView, so we would go over to DEX tools. And if you guys didn't watch my video on DEX tools, you can check that out on the channel. It was like video yesterday or the day before that. And I break down, how DEX tools shows liquidity, it shows the DEX score, it shows lots of other stuff, that you can check for audits and everything. And so Floki is an amazing project to keep on your watch list, but we had to take a little cool off here because we were upwards of 94 on the RSI on the daily. And so with Floki cooling off, Dogecoin cooling off, Bitcoin cooling off, it's a much needed break for a period of time. But what comes after disbelief, guys? Hope, optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria. And so I would expect Floki to go into, 10 billion, 15, 20, potentially even 40 or 50 billion dollars this market cycle. So I don't see why this project couldn't 10 to 50x this bull run, because Dogecoin last bull run, when we click on all and we click on market cap, you saw Dogecoin rallied upwards of, almost 90, what was it? $90 billion. Yeah. $82 billion market cap for Dogecoin. So looking at something like Floki sitting at a $2 billion market cap, being one of the large caps and having one of the strongest audits in the meme coin space and some of the best utility, this project is going to do very well. So there's going to be Ethereum meme coins, Solana meme coins, BNB meme coins, and then you're going to have like Pulse Chain meme coins. You're going to have Optimism meme coins, Arbitrum. So each chain needs a successful meme coin on it. And Solana's owner, his dog is named Myro. So that's why Myro did very, very well and shot upwards of a $300 million market cap. This project rallied up to 24 cents, cooled off for an extended period of time. So you got to be careful buying into the hype. If anything, watch these projects and just star them and wait for pullbacks on them. Because when we're seeing a sell-off like this take place, Myro could continuously trend to the downside, but then that liquidity flows into other projects. And so one project you want to keep on your watch list is called Churro. It's the Jupiter dog. And so Jupiter is one of the top exchanges on Solana alongside Radium, and the owner of Jupiter, his dog is named Churro. So this one right here, super micro cap, super, super risky because, the price fluctuation that you can see in the past day, it's down 33% because all it takes is like $1 million or $2 million to flow out of a project for the market cap. If the market cap's like at $4 million and $2 million flows out, it can drop 50%. So that's why volatility is the price that you pay for opportunity sometimes. And so when we look at this project, the self-reported circulating supply is 99.86% of the max supply. So that's good. It's on Solana. In terms of market, it's on Jupiter and Radium. So you would have to bridge over to Solana. But here's a key here on why this project could have some massive potential is because the co-founder of Jupiter, he posted this when this project was launched, saying, super well done, couldn't help myself, and he bought a churro bag. You guys are nuts, lol. Thank you for honoring my dog. And so 109 million, 10%, 10.9% of the supply, and he locked it up. And now in our Telegram group, you can catch alpha like this first because the book of meme whales were loading up on Churro last night, and that's what pushed the price upwards of 0.004 with $2.7 million in volume coming through in the past 24 hours. And so that doesn't mean when stuff like this takes place, you should just FOMO in because usually there's corrections. And so BOME whales loading up on churro. Maybe they know something that everyone doesn't know. And so with it still being below a 5 million or even a $10 million market cap, I said watch for pullbacks on this one before it moons, because the co-founder Solana, right, $300 million market cap. So Jupiter, largest exchange on Solana, this is a $2.7 million market cap. So maybe the owner of, co-founder of Jupiter knows something. And when we look at Bitcoin sitting at the all-time high pricing, whereas all-time high for altcoins is still off by a large percentage, that shows you guys how much money could realistically flow into the meme coin market over the next 1 to 2 years. So for people to think that this bull run is over and that we're done, well, I mean, it could be if the economy absolutely melts down and that happens, but we're not expecting that because the Fed's going to keep printing more money. Eventually, they're going to pivot on their interest rates. There's no place to run for a collapsing and a dying dollar other than the crypto market right now, precious metals and real estate. And for a lot of these low cap projects, we're seeing the first injection of liquidity take place for this disbelief rally, whereas Bitcoin's in the hope stage. So as we all know, Bitcoin moves first. So Bitcoin moved into the disbelief stage first, whereas Dogecoin was struggling to break outwards of 10 cents, getting rejected from this resistance, whereas Bitcoin was here in the disbelief rally, holding support at like $38,000 right at the complacency stage. And now Bitcoin testing the all-time high shows that hope a recovery is possible. But on Dogecoin's chart, Dogecoin's still in the disbelief rally where people don't think that a recovery is happening. They think the bull run's over when we haven't even gone back to the all-time high in terms of market cap for Dogecoin. And when we look at Dogecoin on Google Trends and we search from 2004 until today, well, back in May of 2021, Dogecoin was 100 out of 100 in terms of interest. And right now we're only at 8 out of 100. So going from 2 to 8 tells me that this bull run is just getting started. We're not even close to the top. Bitcoin's halving is coming up in about a month. So I'm just expecting some volatility going into Bitcoin's halving. That's going to be the best time to consider backing up the truck for your favorite projects. So if you guys want to see the projects we're the most bullish on before these videos come out, then plug into our Telegram group right now by going to bullrunners.com. You'll also be able to unlock exclusive early access to the Insider's Guidebook for discovering 100x altcoins and get access to our crypto education platform when that's released. You don't need any previous crypto trading experience. All you need to do is go to bullrunners.com right now, click the link on the page, put in your best email address. You'll be subscribed to our daily videos newsletter and you'll get early bird access when that's released, because together we're going camping on the beaches of the moon. We're backing up our truck all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them and stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because we believe that the spending power of the dollar is going to keep going down in value. That's a fact. Obviously, as an American, you want the dollar to stay strong, but you want your assets to go up. In order for assets to go up, the dollar goes down. And so it's forced asset appreciation due to the Federal Reserve's monetary print orders. And so the only thing that you can do is back up the truck before we take off. So I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.